What is up, brothers? Hey, I just wanted to share. There's most of you probably already know about Warrior Con 4 coming up next week. It's 7 days from today. So I'm trying to get a little momentum going with a couple of my brothers, Ian, Steven, Eric, anyone else who wants to join us. And just make sure we review everything that's out there available to us, and also just highlight this for anyone else who might not have their ticket. And I know it's a big commitment and it's short notice, but if this interests you, jump on board, man. But let me share. So Garrett is publishing what he calls the Road to Warrior Con training for those of us who've signed up for Warrior Con 4. This is the incredible virtual studio they have in Las Vegas. So it's all going back to the beginning. It all started with the Vegas video in 2012. Some of you'll remember that. This was the private invitation that I got a couple months ago. There were only 150 in-person seats selling at $10,000, and they sold out within, I think, 2 weeks. I did consider that, but I just decided to wait and do the virtual because it's a big investment, obviously, but more because we've got our hands absolutely full out here, just getting settled here in our new place in North Carolina, and working with my teams, trying to make sure we get our online thing going well, trying to lead them remotely, 100% remotely now. But yeah, I am really excited for this. I know that most of you guys probably aren't going to be able to make a 12-hour commitment every day for 4 days. I don't know if I will either, with the two kids and the teams and everything we have to do. But it's going to be exciting. I just did ClickFunnels, brand new. They just relaunched with their 2.0 software, and they had a big 5-day your first funnel challenge this last week. And just being in there with thousands of other people, learning and doing the homework assignments and creating stuff, just the energy and the momentum was so much fun. So I'm really hoping to carry that through this next week with the Warrior stuff. And so, yeah, so if you already have your ticket, if you're inside of the Warrior armory, make sure you look for this Road to Warrior Con 4. He's already published his first kind of 4 steps, shared the 5 laws of Warrior: trust the process, details matter, be here now, do not quit, and take care of your brother. And I've been sharing that with a couple of my good friends that are attending. But I really wanted to actually show you guys. Well, I wanted to record this for myself. I kind of want to funnel hack. So this is the latest page I noticed because I got my ticket months ago. But they've been changing and refining it along the way. And Garrett actually has a pretty good training here. So I thought I would just record this and share it, and also just show you guys. I'm just recording this from myself, like I say, as a funnel hack, because Garrett is one of the kings of sales funnels. But yeah, 4 days of training next week from October 26th to 29th, thousands of dollars worth of bonuses included for free. The expected schedule is 8 a.m. to about 7 p.m. Pacific time every day. And for most of us, yeah, we'll just be plugging in through Zoom online. And normally it's a $747. I thought it was going to charge a lot more for this, actually. But right now you can get it for $750. Although, if you look in the description here, if you don't have a ticket yet, or if you have a friend who wants to join, check the description, because he just put out a coupon code for another 30% off, I believe, like a flash sale. So check that out. Here's everything you're going to get when you join the Warrior Con 4 experience. There's 4 impactful days of intense live training. And of course, we'll get the whole virtual experience recorded for life. Actually, let me show you this one, because this is what they did with Warrior Con 3. They packaged it up. So I'm sure, give them time, but after the event, if you can't tune in for everything, if you can't be live, you're going to get a great, basically online video course with all the gold nuggets, here's Sam on stage. So the last time we had this was December 2018. And I was this close to going with my buddy Ian, but I was not able to attend in person at the last minute. But they packaged it all up. There's like tons of great deep dive trainings with Sam and Garrett and Jeremy. The fortune maps, these are basically well framed case studies and examples of a lot of the biggest guys who ever came through the warrior movement, sharing how they used this operating system in their business and what they did to grow using it. The impossible game framework, looking at foundational fact map, impossible game fact map, and then breaking it down into like quarterly missions to get you where you want to go. There's a debrief and share session, and then warrior wealth mindsets. These are like the vitamin G's. Anyway, lots of stuff in there, and I know that they're going to package up this next one similarly. So that's, you'll get the whole thing recorded that you can go through at your own pace. And then this is what's really cool for a lot of you guys. So like Eric, you've got this, right? We've all got access to this now if you've purchased. And this alone, for a long time, Garrett was selling this for like $6.97, I think. So even if you pay the full ticket price right now, you're going to get lifetime access to the whole Wake Up Warrior Challenge and the Warrior apps. The apps, that's what I'm looking at. The apps, you'll get full access to the whole Warrior suite between now and the end of this year. So just keep that, you have until New Year to utilize it. And then I think, there'll be some people are paying $297 a month for that. So you got like 2.5 months to use it. And I'm sure he'll probably offer a decent deal if you want to keep going after that. But this is the Wake Up Warrior Challenge, which is like a 30-step challenge. You can do it in 30 days if you're really committed and have a lot of time, but at least you'll have this for life. So you can go through, you can follow along with my debriefs and my experience. I'm happy to share. This was the most transformational experience of my life. Like really going through step by step all of the 30 benchmarks and doing the work and going on these expeditions. I was hiking up mountains with rocks on my backpack, and really learned a lot about myself. So you'll have lifetime access to this and several of the other kind of foundational trainings. You get the whole, where is it? Behind me, you might see that row of black books. There's 6 big, thick Bibles teaching each of the pillar kind of methodologies of the Warrior's Way, and you'll get at least the audiobook version and the audio library with so much gold in there. You'll get that for life. I had to pay $500 for that book series, and I'm sure there's going to be more. So anyhow, let me, I think I'll need to switch this off for a second and make sure I got audio. Nope, not that one. Bear with me, guys. I just want to play this, and I think this is the one. Yeah, I want to share this and have it for posterity.
So 2012, roughly 10 years ago, God spoke into my world and told me to start talking about this idea of having it all for men. It became known as Wake Up Warrior. If you would have told me that 10 years ago we'd be on a private jet flying with our team to go have our own retreat, preparing for WarriorCon 4, and that tens of thousands of men would have been impacted, hundreds of thousands of lives, millions of people indirectly impacted by a message that I had no concept of its potency or its power. Long before jets, long before the t-shirts, the brand, cameras. Long before the movies, there was one simple message. It began with a core group of men, many of which sit here on this plane with me today. And the message was simple: wake up. This is what WarriorCon 4 is all about. If you're watching this video, you're currently sitting in a place where you have been pondering on pontificating, maybe even consuming different aspects of content with me over the years. Hell, for some of you, 6, 7, 8 years. And now you have an opportunity. An opportunity to make a decision to move forward. Stop being on the sidelines. Stop sitting as a spectator. Stop watching the jets fly over above you and actually get your ass on the jet and experience that game. Experience the life that you were born to experience. Oricon 4 is a unique experience, and here on this page, the link that will take you directly to the details of how you can participate in this virtual hybrid experience where the men inside have invested $10,000 to be there. Those tickets are gone. But where you got an opportunity to participate in this virtually in 4 simple conversations. 1, the power of waking up as man. 2, the power of taking a knee to the reality of where you are and the reality of where God's calling you to be. 3, learning the art and science of having it all. And finally, 4, arriving at the promised land of freedom.
5. A balled up knot in my stomach all the time.
3, 2, 1. Most men go to the grave as slaves. It's beyond song. It's more than just your song dies within you. Your wife, your children, your family, everything around you dies because you continue to sleep. Oricon 4 is your invitation. You're here, you're at the door, you're watching this video. You're going to watch a bunch of weak men make fun of it. You might even be one of those guys, tempted, triggered by this idea that I'm speaking up of having it all. Who is this guy to talk to me? Who is this movement? What is this all about? Wake Up Warrior has single-handedly been the catalyst for over 9 different men's movements that impact hundreds of thousands of men every single year. You have an opportunity to be in something that will never come back again. Oricon 4 is a lifetime opportunity available for you today.
In 5 weeks' time, thousands of men will gather to celebrate the success of today. But few understand the process and the journey it took to actually get here. And today, we're going to peel back the layers 1 year at a time for you to truly understand the how, so that you can build something that you feel called to, even if you don't feel qualified. Let's dive in.
Invitation to you is simple. It's attend WarriorCon 4. There's a link right here on this page to secure your virtual ticket. The challenge is that you continue to sit on the sideline and do nothing. You continue to watch videos that I put out. You listen to content that I share. You see case study and witness after witness after witness after witness of what it is to stand powerfully as a man having it all. You're not new to this. Many of you watching this video have ordered the books, you've consumed the podcast, you've listened over and over and over again, and yet you've not done the one thing that would actually fucking change things. Do something about it. Learning the Warrior's way is one thing, living it is another. In just a few days, at the time I'm shooting this video with you, we are closing the doors on WarriorCon 4. The 150 men and 10,000 a ticket in the room, they've already secured their seat. 1,000 plus men have already secured their seat to be part of this experience with us virtually, and yet here you continue to sit. Now, I realize what happens in these environments, and here this video that I'm going to put together for you is going to piece together the story of Warrior and why it matters that this story is here now presenting itself to you. Why your wife and your children, your future and your life ride and die upon the decision that you fucking make or you don't. Now, I'm okay. I'm okay with men making a decision to go away. I'm okay with men thinking this guy's an asshole, I'm out of here. I'm okay if that's where you're at. Truly, I don't give a fuck. Take yourself off our email list, get away from my network, stop consuming anything I say, and go away and find the man that has been called to lead and liberate you. But see, I'm not talking to those guys. Why? Because there's a handful, a few of them that truly fit in that place. You, my friend, are just on the other side. You're sitting there wondering, is it possible that a virtual experience could actually deliver for me any type of real change? And yet in this studio that I'm standing in, the studio we've been dancing in, the studio I've been built for the last 3 years, we have proven that you can take the Warrior's Way system and embed it into a man's life in less than 4 days, virtually or in person. I have told people over and over again with our results here in a virtual environment that our virtual experiences are more potent, more productive, more powerful, and deliver bigger profitable results in business and in life than most of your events you have ever been to in person. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Happy clappy seminars, sitting around with a happy clappy keynote after keynote that doesn't give a fuck about you, that showed up from a jet to give you a 45-minute speech about how you can fucking do it. This is not a Gary Vee convention. I'm not into the Ed Milets. I'm not into everybody telling you to be positive. We're not in a positive fucking situation right now. Life is not positive, and no matter how you try to look at it, life is going to require you to wage war. But most men are too weak to do this. This was why Warrior was born. I was looking for this place when I was you. I was looking for someone to offer me a lifeline in my darkest fucking time. Just give me a shot. Help me put it together. Give me a way to see this path as a man, broken in my money, broken in my marriage, broken in my relationships with my kids, with no one to look to and nothing but religiosity and self-righteous pricks quoting scriptures to me. No one had a map. And here I sit with a map for you, and yet you continue to sit on the sidelines. It's fucking disgusting to me that you would choose to let your wife and children suffer because you're scared. It's not because of money. It's not because of money. You don't not do this because of the money. You don't do this because you know to do with this means you're going to have to be confronted, and I get it. But what if, my man, what if this experience was exactly what you were looking for? What if amidst COVID and the plummeting stock market and the rising interest rates and ridiculous inflation and political assholes telling us what to do who don't actually live that life, who lead from what they do not live? What if this event, this experience was exactly what God has been leading you to in a form that you fucking needed? You don't need a hug. You need a kick in the dick. You need to be surrounded by men who have proven this model will work. And my friend, I cannot tell it to you any other way. At some level, you're going to have to choose it. You're going to have to be the guy that decides to rise for your wife, for your children. My family is not at risk. My sex life's not at risk. But you know what is at risk? Yours. Your marriage is at risk. Your family's at risk. Your business is at risk. And if you don't learn to rise as a man in today's environment, you're fucked. My friend, stop screwing around. Click on the link on this page and get yourself registered for WarriorCon 4 now.
In the beginning, there was pain. The darkness hovered over the deep inside a man who sought and searched desperately for his own liberation. A broken-hearted sleepwalker, blindly combing through this reality with a life on the brink of collapse. To the outside world, he was just like everyone else, which is the exact problem. He knew he was different. As he stared into the mirror every night, the sinking feeling that there was something unspeakably wrong with himself and this world. Something was off. This story starts like most. Before it was good, it was bad. Very bad. Negative bank accounts, marriage in shambles, a broken body, a crisis of faith, an empty house. And in his deepest plea, in the dark night of his pit, he spoke into the void. Let there be life. Many of you know the story, but few know the how. How did a man entirely unqualified to lead a global movement of men pull it off? Step 1, wake up. But waking up was not a moment of love or of glory or of heaven. It was the pain that he woke up to. Waking up was not one moment. It was a decision that he had to make every day. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. To the injustice of his own imprisonment, to the disgust with his own state of life. And that bled into seeing and revealing a virus that plagued not only him, but across this whole planet in the hearts and minds of most men across the globe. And in his ugly, unqualified rage, he spoke into a camera. December 2012, the seed. 5 unseeming men said yes and found themselves in a quiet Facebook group talking about one idea: waking up. Wake up. Wake up. One event, one offer, one goal: survive. 2013. 30 men. One offer, one goal: wake up. Still confused, still lost, still alone, still unsure, and still unwilling to quit. Wake up, he said. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. 2014. 50 men. One offer, one goal: wake up. And this became the unexpected origins of a Wake Up Warrior.
Day one of this 4-day experience. Let me walk you through it. My intention is really simple. It's really clear. It's to get you to enroll in WarriorCon 4 and attend in the virtual experience that will be the pivot point in your entire life. Not just a little bit, a lot. See, I sit here and get the unique opportunity and the perspective I am to have worked with 55,000 different men over the last decade. Do you understand how much data that is? I'm not talking about a little bit of data. I'm talking about deep, primal truth at a level that most individuals could not even fathom. I'm talking dump trucks load of darkness dumped into our world, tracked and understood, uncovered and seen, secrets that were making men sick, and the patterns and the process behind them. And the craziest part that came about was everybody was looking for the same thing on this shirt: to be free. They wanted to be free men. This is why men come to WarriorCon, to be free. This is why you are being invited to come to WarriorCon, to be free. You are coming to a place to search after the thing that God embedded in you from the beginning. But that means you're going to have to make a decision. And day one is all about establishing the truth between the trainers that will come and be part of that experience, all born from in the heartbeat of the Warriors Way system. Men who now lead movements of tens of thousands of men themselves coming to join and lock arms with me around one conversation: getting you to wake up. But wake up to what? Wake up to the truth. Wake up to the facts. Wake up to a level and experience and a conversation that just by itself begins to pivot life. See, your clarity is driven by your truth. Your one willingness to look at the truth is being shielded by all of this other noise. Day to day in your cell phone, day to day in your experience, you are being distracted. You're being taught, trained, and educated to lie. Taught, trained, and educated not to participate in the game of truth. And so we don't. We stand back and we don't. But see, a man that steps into WarriorCon 4 is looking for truth. He doesn't avoid it. It's like the guy that wants to keep score. The only people that don't want to keep score in the game of business are men that are losing. That's it. Those men don't want to keep score. Winners want to keep score. Men that want to win keep score. Men that want to be free put themselves in proximity of other men. Men who choose what? Choose to do the same thing. Your virtual experience with me is going to blow your fucking mind. I'm going to put you in breakout session after breakout session or breakout session. You're going to spend half the day working and dialoguing your work with my facilitators, other men just like you from around the world virtually with us for 10 to 12 hours a day. Day number 1 has one focus. Wake up. Wake up to the truth of where you are. Wake up to the truth of where you desire to go. Do you understand that these two simple ideas, we uncovered a science through software and a particular ideology through the Warrior app that I'm $6 million invested into. That tool, as well as our curriculum and conversation and the modalities and methodology used to arrive at the place of truth is unlike anything you've experienced before. Some of you have done this in the past with Warrior. You worked in journals, you worked in different exercises, but getting to live by a code or to be in a place of real, raw, relevant results, or to be able to stand in a place of owning the facts, that the facts will set you free, that freedom is the outcome. Well, all of this begins on day number 1. Day number 1, you're going to be baptized by fire. You will be baptized in the game of fire. You will be taught. You will type, you will talk it out with other men, and you will be trained over and over and over again from multiple different angles to arrive at a place around body, being, balance, and business. At the end of day 1, the clearest you have been about the truth in your life as you have ever been. Most programs that you go to want to spend 5 minutes on this. We spend a day on this entire process. Why? Because any of the shit you tell me you want, any of the things you say you're going to do, the business you're going to build, the marriage you're going to take over, the family you're going to create, all this bullshit if it's on a foundation of lies. We've got to strip away the lies, and I've got to show you how to do it systematically so that as we peel them away, what's revealed is a foundational bedrock upon which we can build a life. Day 1, by the time you're done, that bedrock will be available. That's only if you're there. Because I can promise you, trying to do it even on your own, not the same. Doing it with thousands of other men, totally different. Doing it with trainers who would never come train you outside of investing hundreds of thousands of dollars with me, that opportunity is now, my friend. The fact that you're still sitting here is a problem. Secure your seat to WarriorCon 4 now.
People throw around the word calling so easily until you're actually called. I was there by Garrett's side since nearly the beginning, and there were countless times that he wanted to quit, to do something easier, something less stressful. But the thing about hearing the call is that once you hear it, you can't unhear it. You can't unfeel the gravity of it. You can't unsee the vision of it. And so you're left with one of two choices: to sedate and hide, and to ignore the calling. Or number 2, you submit, you listen, you surrender. Or in other words, step 2, you take a knee. And so in 2015, he submitted even deeper and quadrupled down. But there was a dilemma. The more men came through, we had to bottle up what made it work. You see, on the surface, people saw the fighting and the warrior weeks, which was really cool. But at the core, what made it work was not the beatdown, but a science-based set of really easy tools to use that we could hand a man to predictably start to wake him up. So while the marketplace saw all this paramilitary boot camp stuff, the men who came through experienced a method known as the Warrior's Way, especially a tool we've come to call the stack. In 2015, 300 men, 12 warrior weeks, hundreds of families, thousands of children impacted. In 2016, 500 men, 12 warrior weeks, our first Warrior Con, 10,000 books sold, thousands of families impacted, and the birth of the Warrior's Way apps. 2017, 1,000 plus men, 12 warrior weeks, Warrior Con 2, 20,000 books sold, millions of people touched through our movies. But imagine if one man decided to not take that knee. The cost would have been tragic. So the question for you is, do you have the courage to take a knee?
Doesn't seem to make any sense, does it? Take a knee. I'm going to talk to you here in this segment, because you're watching this video now and you've still not secured your virtual ticket. You've got to ask yourself a simple question. Why? Why? You'll waste more money on Starbucks this week between your family, eating out, and bullshit. You'll spend more money on subscriptions this month to bullshit Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Plus, and other viewing and streaming platforms to sedate and waste away your life. You'll waste at least 10 hours this week on social media watching reels and YouTube videos that don't fucking matter. Brother, you'll spend most of your life in the margins losing over and over and over again because you won't simply take a knee. The thing that was so confusing to me about freedom, and the thing that we're going to be working on day number 2 inside of this experience at WarriorCon 4, is we're going to work on guiding you to leverage a powerful weapon known as the stack. We're going to show you how to take that in combination with the bigger game and allow you to take a knee to the truth of not only where you are, but also the truth of what God has waiting for you. My life today and the men that play inside of this game, the story and the narrative is the same over and over and over again. It defies logic. It is impossible, the levels of freedom that I experience now compared to the man that I was a decade ago. The man that I am today versus the man I was a year ago. And see, this freedom itself requires a submission to the game. A submission, a taking a knee, and you investing in being here in this program is a taking knee process. The easy part's the money. Less than $1,000 and you have a virtual ticket to participate with 4 days, over 48 hours of training, live, immersive, interactive, not keynote speeches. You're going to work and leave with blueprints and models and plans of exactly where you are, exactly where you need to go, and the weapons to get you there. But you won't get any of it if you don't take a knee. How many times you sat there with a book thinking, oh, this will work. I'll get this done. Yet the problem is you're surrounded by men and you're surrounded in an environment that does not support you to be all of you. It's not a council of free men that you're surrounded with. Take a mark real quick at the people you submit to, their opinions, their perspectives, what you think they should tell you to do, what you think you should do based upon their feedback. Do they represent a life that you want? See, and that's the challenge, is that you've got to take a knee to the fact that here at Warrior, this place either has something to offer you or it doesn't. That this place is either real or it's not. And for some of you watching this, this is new to you. You're seeing this video for the very first time, but that's very, very few. Most of you have been watching this game and you know from an energetic place that there is an energy around the words I'm saying, that you might be even offended by the word fuck and the other words I use, which is what we do here. Because something has to punch through the sedated state and guide you to take a knee, not to me, but to yourself. Take a knee to the truth of where you are. Take a knee to the truth of what you want. Many men on day number 2 during WarriorCon 4 are going to find freedom to pursue what they want in a way they've never done before because of the level of truth in day number 1 that led them to knock on that door. See, your vision to the future is opened by your commitment to the present. And your ability to commit here opens up that vision and that door to the future. Together as a band of brothers, we will guide you through the tools to reframe your mind. Right now, your mind watching this is, I don't have time for this. The question is, what if the story actually is, I don't have time not to do this? You think you're going to fucking live forever? You think the kids are just going to wait around forever? You think that the game's just going to change because you waited? The game gets harder. Every year that goes by, you get older. Your energy goes down. Your willingness and commitment to drive begins to disappear. And yet here I am standing with an invitation that is so fucking clear. Wake up and take a knee, my friend. Not to me, but to this game. Join me at WarriorCon 4. Invest in you. Invest in your marriage. Invest in your family. And establish yourself at the end of day 2 with the clearest perspective on the future you have always wanted but been terrified to acknowledge that you do by securing your seat here at WarriorCon 4 now.
The only way you can help them is to help yourself. If the king doesn't rise, the kingdom dies. If the king doesn't rise, the kingdom dies.
Interesting what happens when you don't quit. In 5 short years, a man who was lost and confused became the pioneer of an industry. I think it's safe to say we were onto something. Step 3, have it all.
If the king doesn't rise, the kingdom dies. If the king doesn't rise, the kingdom dies.
It was very simple. When men came knocking on the doors of Warrior, he asked them a simple question. Do you have the faith to have it all?
If the king doesn't rise, the kingdom dies.
And if you did, prepare yourself.
If the king doesn't rise, the kingdom dies.
If the king doesn't rise, the kingdom dies. Listen to those words. If the king doesn't rise, the kingdom dies. This statement itself, as you saw in that video, came in the middle of a Warrior Week event back in 2018. Men were freezing on a beach in the middle of nowhere, going through evolution after evolution to arrive at a place of truth. And that statement flowed through me, didn't come from me, it flowed through me. If the king doesn't rise, the kingdom dies. Brother, you have a kingdom that God has given you. A kingdom in your body, a kingdom in your being, your relationship with God, your certainty with yourself, a kingdom inside of your relationship with your queen and your children, and a kingdom inside of your ability to navigate the conversation of money, your business, getting paid. There is no way to move around this outside of understanding that dominion was part of your calling in this life. Your dominion over these 4 areas and ability to raise them into abundance was the primary purpose of life. Salvation was not the primary purpose. The primary purpose was creation. It was elevating your life in abundance in all domains, multiplying and bearing fruit, that you would be known by your fruit in these areas, not by your faith. But your faith is the call to fruit. The faith is the call to move. And that's what I'm asking from you. I'm asking because I know the consequence of you not doing it. I know the suffering of your wife and your children because of the life you are terrified to pursue, because of the unwillingness to do what is required when simple opportunities come knocking. This is an opportunity. It's knocking on your door right now. I'm saying, King, rise. But in order to pull this off, we have to come to terms with the fact that you're a man. You're a man. You're a man who has likely not activated his warrior at the level that he needs to. The fact is, in every warrior is in a man, but in every man is not a warrior. Possibly you're one of those guys. Possibly you're the good enough guy. Possibly you're the it's okay guy. Possibly you're the guy that it doesn't matter. You're like, it doesn't matter. It's good enough in my life. I don't need to do anything different than this. It's okay the way it is. Yet that's not the truth for your wife. She might appease you by saying it. Your kids might not know any different. Yet there's a level of abundance and money that you have not obtained that your family deserves. There is a level of possibility and power inside of your sex life with your wife that you have not experienced and yet you deserve. There is a level of connection and bonding with your children that you have never conceived, yet you deserve. There is a level of communion and conversation directly with God that you deserve, yet you've not had it. Brother, there's a life when you have all of this that opens up the purpose of life. I want you to consider there's only one purpose, which we'll discuss on day 3 of Warrior Con 4. We'll work directly through this over and over again with you from every single angle that we can imagine, give you every tool from the stack to the core to the door to the game, and every mindset and psychological frame about how we get from where you are to the impossible future that you are committed to moving into. This impossible reality of having it all and what's going to be required from you to pull it off. As we have this conversation, you're going to hear story after story, panel after panel, hundreds and hundreds of men that have come before you who have proven that this not only works, but have proven and defied the reality of the persecutors and the doubters in their worlds to have it all. My friend, the version of you that has it all at the levels I'm talking about, this guy looks at you today in disgust. Not me looking at you. There's a version of you that weaponized in his body, unified in his relationship with God and being, aligned with his wife and balanced in children, and making money the way he deserves to make money. That motherfucker walks in the room and people are terrified. Terrified of a man who not only lives in truth, but terrified of a man who represents a bulletproof lifestyle. This is what we're offering. And yet you sit there and you doubt. And that's even bigger reason why this place exists. Because every single one of us, before we rose from men to warriors and from warriors to kings with kingdoms in abundance, had the same fear. brother, do your family and you a service. Do your life a service. Get yourself secured for WarriorCon 4 now.
Freedom is all he ever wanted. To live in abundant prosperity. He didn't see the movement, he just wanted freedom. But it's a difficult feeling to grasp when you have it all, and yet you still feel hollow. And yet, this was the state of Garrett as he sat atop a mountain of achievement of most people's dreams. He contemplated life. He had done it. A $20 million beach house, 8-figure companies, millions impacted. A beautiful wife. He saved his marriage. He had 5 beautiful kids, living on purpose. And yet there was still a hole. What he realized broke his heart. Cigar in hand one night when the kids were in bed, overlooking the ocean, he heard the voice speak. This hole, my son, is a God-shaped hole. A hole that could only be filled with one person. Christ. Freedom comes in many forms. We seek to be financially free, emotionally free, physically free, mentally free, socially free, even sexually free. And in Garrett's pursuits, he discovered the most confronting truth. Success was hollow without God. Having it all, hollow without God. Money, hollow without God. A ripped body, hollow without God. A perfectly converting funnel, hollow without God. Ultimately, freedom was hollow without God. And so in his own discomfort, he moved through this hollow void, and he apprehensively but humbly let God rush in. This was the final piece. It took waking up and taking a knee and even having it all to finally realize what prosperity really meant. It was to be free with God. So wherever you are, as you hunt your promised land, whatever your pursuit of freedom is, God will author it with you if you let it.
This is my final plea to you. Because he sent me to you. That may be difficult for some of you to hear. You may not like it. I don't care. Most of what you'll hear in this place is what you don't want to hear. Most of what you'll hear here, Wake Up Warrior, is a call to rise. A call to wake up, a call to open your eyes, a call to be more as a man than you have ever given yourself permission to be. Brother, we have not just figured out how to do this in theory. We have figured out through books, coursework, software, systems, and science, the predictable path to allowing you to rise to the place I'm talking about. Having it all was a concept. It was an idea. We didn't know if it'd work. I had no idea if it was possible. Up even till 2016, we were still knocking on the doors of putting this all together. And then COVID hit and life accelerated. And what we saw open up was the most magnificent experience ever. I saw God reach out and grab the world and shake it. And he continues to shake it. And he shook my life. And it didn't change how I'm operating in many ways, because how I was operating was exactly how God had built me to operate. I'm in a bloody game of dealing with men like you. I'm not a pastor. I'm not some teacher. I'm not a happy, clappy talker. Man, I am sitting on the front line of waging a war with your sedation and unconsciousness. I have to deal with the motherfucker in you that has to go to war with me in order to set you free. I'm not at war with you. When we say win the impossible game is to be free. To have no restrictions in your body, no restrictions with your religious belief systems and your relationship with God, no restrictions with your wife, no restrictions with your children, no restrictions in business and money. To be free. To be a free man choosing to live in a free world based on your creation. And it's possible. It's possible. It's not fucking easy. If it was easy, you'd just go to church, put your hands in there, sing some worship songs, and life would be better. But that shit only works temporarily like a Red Bull. It's not a pill that you can pop. You know this. That's why WarriorCon 4 has been built the way it is. We are collapsing all of the greatest science and technology, the greatest science and teaching frames, the greatest trainers, and the environment we have ever put together to allow you the highest probability of winning. Winning what? Winning the have-it-all lifestyle, winning the impossible game, ultimately becoming a free man. This shirt right here is the standard for what this is. WarriorCon 4 Free Man Edition. The code, the stack, the core, the door, the game, the 5 key pillars of living the Warrior's way. The science, the system, the tools, and the technology that support you in getting it. I'm going to give it all to you. And I'm going to show you over 4 days, not tell you, I'm going to show you, and you're going to experience truth over those 4 days that will defy anything in logical terms you have ever felt before. Many of you will wake up to a conversation with God during these 4 days in a method that seems insane. You'll come to terms with a relationship with God at a level with us over 4 days that you've never found in any men's group you've been part of, that you've never found in any church study group, that you've never found with any videos you've ever watched, because being immersed in this experience is going to transform you. The impossible game is about liberating yourself from the captivity of your current reality. We have figured out how to do this. And by day number 4, you will have the full suite of tools available to you. You will see how they operate, how they work, and how to continue to use them beyond WarriorCon 4. You're going to do this in relationships and community and connection with tribes of 5 to 6 men at a time, in breakout conversations, work time by yourself, training with me and the other trainers. You are going to be guided on the most elite and most potent path that has ever existed in warrior history. Men prior to you have invested hundreds of thousands of dollars to gain just a shot glass of what you're about to be loaded up with, which is the entire arsenal of warrior that took a decade to build, and I have it available for you today. But I can't give it to you for free because you won't do anything with it. I got to get you a little bit committed financially. And so for less than $1,000, you have an opportunity to participate in WarriorCon 4, October 26th, 27th, 28th, and 29th. Once this window passes, there's no guarantee I'll do another event like this way ever again. The last WarriorCon event we did was in 2018, period. 4 years later, we ran another event, and here we are. We've trained thousands of men between that time, and maybe you were one and maybe you weren't. So whether you are a brother who is from the past with us and you fell off the wagon of warrior, and I was an asshole for some reason in the way I operated with you, and I offended you at a level that had you run away or just say, fuck you, I'm going to do it a different way. Whatever it is, I ask for, please, your forgiveness. I ask you to please follow your heart, to please make a decision for yourself that will set your family's life on a different trajectory. Brother, we live in a day and age right now where the weakness in men is being exposed everywhere. This is why I've gathered myself up with the top 9 to 10 men's movements and said, brothers, we got to lock arms. It just happens to be that almost all of them were born here in the heartbed in the nest of Wake Up Warrior. Those men are coming to train and guide with you and with me, arm in arm, men who started back in the beginning, the origins of just a concept and an idea in 2012 that we had about what could be possible. But you have got to make that decision. You The easy part's the money. The easy part's clearing your schedule and participating. The easy part's putting on a warrior shirt. The hard part is you committing to something that's going to change you. The hard part is you committing to dying and being reborn. I have typical marketing companies, guys all around me that sit back and they look at the things we do and they're like, Garrett, I don't understand it. How is it you guys can have such huge numbers over here and at times such low numbers over here? I said, because we're not offering you a money ATM. I'm not pitching you money, although you're going to make a shitload of money once you learn how to live this way. What I'm offering you is a belief on life, a new way for you to see your wife, a new way for you to see your children, a new way for you to experience your reality, a new way for you to conceive a relationship with God, a new way for you to interpret your body, your being, your balance in your business, all culminated into one simple, powerful fist of fury. That in today's marketplace, as things run rampant for your children in the school systems, as they run rampant for you politically, as our economic systems get turned upside down, as our education systems become proved worthless in the collegiate setting, as all of this continues to happen, as the medical community begins to fall apart, as people's obesity and their lack of commitment and accountability to themselves continues to skyrocket, and people's deaths and overdosing and divorce rates and dysfunction continues to skyrocket, as all this happens, you have a decision inside of that mess. The decision is really simple. Either you're going to choose to lead your family as a free man. You will be free to make the decisions you choose to make every day, unencumbered by the weight of anything else. I don't wake up every day making a decision based upon what Governor Newsom in the state of California tells me I should think or do. I don't wake up making decisions based upon what President Joe Biden has as an opinion about how I should live or be about my life today. I don't operate my life based upon what some pastor tells me I should be doing or not doing. I don't operate my life based upon what anyone is telling me to do. And that's the uniqueness about this system, is that the Warrior's Way is a series of tools and a science for you to connect directly to God and to get the answers to life that you need on a daily basis. This connection is more important now than it has ever been. There are going to be painful moments in the next couple of years, moments where you're going to have to make decisions for your children, decisions for your marriage, decisions for your business, and decisions for your life. As this dark cloud of insanity continues to roll forward across the world, continues to cover up the eyes and the ears and the hearts of human beings all around us, men and women are going to be clinging for leadership, clinging and looking for men to lead them. Men who can inspire them, men who can show them a better way, men who can guide them to live a different way. But see, we're going to be different in this form of leadership. We're not looking for people to give us any more quotes. We don't need any more fucking memes. What we need is people who are real. What we need is people who can lead from what they live. The one thing I can count on, and you can count on at Warrior, is this. There is no man that leads on the front in this place who does not lead from what he lives. Period. Period. I lead from what I live. The science we're teaching you is result-driven in my life. It's result-driven in all the trainers' lives. It's result-driven in all the men you will be around. And many of you coming, this will be the beginning of the end for you. There will simply be before WarriorCon 4, and there will be after. At WarriorCon 1, WarriorCon 2, and WarriorCon 3, and over 70 Warrior Weeks, training tens of thousands of men over the past decade, I can tell you every man that's ever come to this place can divide his life into two stages. Stage number 1 was before he woke up here at Wake Up Warrior. Stage number 2 is what he felt after. My man, your pivot is here. Your opportunity is here. This door is closing. This video, the time you're watching it, it might even be closed tomorrow. We're shooting this video with less than 2 weeks left before WarriorCon 4. Then we're going to shut the door and we're going to train our asses off. And we're going to guide 1,000+ men to a place of power. And brother, I want you on the inside. So right now, I want you to do yourself a favor. I want you to do yourself a favor. Close your eyes with me for a second. I'm going to do something interesting with you. Take a deep breath in with me. And release. If you're just sitting there watching me on video, oh man, you got a long ways to go. This voyeur game that you've been playing's got to end. Close your eyes, man. Close your eyes. Deep breath in and release. And deep breath in and release. And one more deep breath in and release. Sitting here in this place with me for a minute with your eyes still closed. I just want you to let this place be a peaceful place. Because in the end, again, keep your eyes closed. We support men and empower men here to make decisions. Yes or no are the decisions. Maybe is not an answer. Possibly later is not an answer. Yes or no is the only answer that makes sense. It's the only way to make bold decisions. And deep breath in and release. So I'm going to ask you a simple question in this place with your eyes closed. Is it time for you to move forward into Warrior Con 4? Yes or no? Allow that answer to rise. And deep breath in and release. I'm going to ask you the question again. Keep your eyes closed. Is WarriorCon 4 an opportunity that you must capitalize on and move forward today? Yes or no? Feel those yeses. Feel them as they fill your heart. Deep breath in and release. Sitting in this place, I'm going to ask you a third question, a little bit different. Is it time for you to transform everything about your life by learning how to live the Warrior's Way at WarriorCon 4? Yes or no? And deep breath in and release. And open your eyes. My man, there's one thing you're going to learn here more than anything. There is a trust that you must find in the connection you have with God within you. If you don't find this and learn to lean into and trust it, nothing else matters. Everything we do here at Warrior and WarriorCon 4 is leading you to that connection. And so you have your answer. You know what you need to do. My brother, click on the link on this page and secure your seat to WarriorCon 4 now.
All right, guys. Well, man, if you're still here, let me see. Yeah, so if you do not have your ticket, you've got like 2.5 days to do it, and it's only $747. Again, look for my, there should be more info beneath this video wherever you're watching. Garrett did just put out like a last minute fire sale, so go look for the code and you can actually get an additional 30% off of this ticket price. So what is that? It should come out to something like $525. And I promise you, having been involved in this Warrior network for the last 2 years, like this is the best thing I ever did. So I'm really looking forward to next week. Just the Wake Up Warrior Challenge alone is worth $700, and you'll have lifetime access to that and several other courses, the whole book set. So while we're here, the one thing I would like to just note from this video, it's obviously a sales pitch, and I just, for my own purposes, I love to capture these if I can, because he always includes great frameworks, and that's what I want to review with you here in a second if you stick with me. But also be, as a business owner and someone who's learning the process of sales and strategic seduction under Garrett, like, I love watching even his sales presentations, and I'll revisit them again because you're watching a master salesman at work. He's sold him and Russell Brunson and a few others are kind of like my gurus, so I love to just study their work. So that's like when I talk about funnel hacking, if you guys hear me say that, that's what I mean. But what's the framework here? Because there was some really good training. Let me pull up, he gives us this latest spin he has on the warrior doctrine, which is like step 1, wake up warrior. Step 2, take a knee. This is like the new part for many people who have gone through warrior in the past, but you may not be on the inside right now. So wake up, take a knee, have it all, be free, right? And I've got another great presentation that he gave from the stage at the ClickFunnels 2.0 launch last week. If you guys want to see that, I'm going to probably share that here in the coming days as well. But so wake up. What does that mean? It means we live by a code. So here's the whole stack of books. We live by a code. Stop lying. Start telling the truth. That's the path to leadership. And so the code is all about tell the truth, quit fucking lying, dig into your facts. The facts will set you free. So this is all about getting clear and honest with ourselves about where we are and where we really want to go so that we can map the blueprint to get there. Okay? So we live by a code. The facts will set you free. That's kind of how he's linking the pillars of the Warriors Way with this new direction they're going. So day number 2 outcome is all about taking a knee. And within Warrior, the main 2 frameworks we have are the core and the stack. So there's 2 books on that. Warrior Core 4. This is how to structure your life from your daily routines to mapping out your impossible games and dominating across body, being, balance, and business. But it requires submission to, doing the daily work. So prosperity is born in the pivot. Take a knee to the daily work you need to do to build power in yourself, to lead your family, lead your business, your customers, and your communities. Okay, so that's one part of it. But the deeper part in taking a knee, and you get a little sneak peek of the apps here, the stack. So attack with the stack. And this is the one I'm still really struggling to submit myself to. But the stack is an amazing tool. It's kind of like a journaling tool on steroids, but there's no way to describe it. And going through the 30-day Wake Up Warrior Challenge will give you that education experience. And like I say, that was the most transformative thing I think I have ever done. And I've gone through a lot of training and events and experiences. But the stack is the daily tool where you get to take your stories and your psychology and rewrite those things, reprogram your own mind. So there's this submission to the facts, to the pain of where you may be, and to even the sometimes the guilt or shame or embarrassment that may come from like looking at where you really want to be or where you feel you should be, and the distance, the gap between you and there. But without being able to look at those painful facts, you can't build a real firm foundation. So this is all about building your foundation with tools like the Warrior Core 4, the stack, and rewriting all the stories that dominate and create our lives. And day 3 is about having it all. This is a conversation, that starts with the core 4, having it all across body, being, balance, and business. But how do we really get there? I mean, we've got tools like the Door, which is a productivity tool within the Warrior Suite, just for keeping on target, to build if you've got a business, to improve yourself and get your word out there and spread your message, and for content creation or leading a team. But winning the impossible games, this is actually the book, Winning Impossible Games, all about reverse engineering. What is your impossible goal, your big targets, say from a year from now, and how do we reverse engineer that into quarterly missions and create the frameworks to keep yourself on track week by week with accountability. That's what you get inside the Brotherhood and in this group. So any of you, and then, lastly would be becoming free. And that's in the implementation. Yeah, I'm going to let Garrett speak to that in his own words at WarriorCon 4 in a week from today, and in some of the other trainings that I'll share with you guys. So anyone who does happen to see this, if you're already part of the Warrior Brotherhood, if you have already at least secured your ticket for WarriorCon 4, or even if you've just got access to the Wake Up Warrior Challenge, if that's you, if you guys are already kind of in Warrior in some sense, and you're not in our group, then hit me up, send me a private message, or let me see, contact me however you can. But inside this group, it's just a small handful of us right now, but I've been on the quarterly fact map training masterminds consistently, and as you can see, I like to share what I can that Garrett's putting out, and then go through and break down what are the frameworks, how can we apply this in our life. So if you want to get in this group, get active with us and break down the trainings week by week and hold each other accountable, you're welcome to join us if you're already a member of Warrior. And especially this upcoming week, we are busy, preparing for WarriorCon 4. But I have shared my example for you, all of my video debriefs and my stacks and discoveries for each step of the 30-day Wake Up Warrior Challenge inside of here. So if you're in the group and you haven't gone through this, look for the guides tab. If you're on your phone, you got to look for something up in the corner with a drop down and look for the guides tab in this group. But it's got all my Wake Up Warrior Challenge benchmarks. And then, we've been doing weekly calls on and off for quite some time. So like I say, if you guys want to make this a more consistent thing, I want to jump on more frequently with you guys and hold each other accountable. And having done masterminds since 2006 myself, and having been part of some of the boardroom groups within Warrior, with like Coach Brandon, etc., I'm happy to facilitate that if you guys want to join us for the weekly wake up call. Anyone who is not already inside Warrior, I'll put it to you like this. If you jump on this deal this week, go to Warrior OS, use that code. It is WC4 Flash in all caps, okay? And that'll be in the description below. But if you go to warrioros.com, if this is for you, join us next week for WarriorCon 4, and then I'd love to get you inside of our small group here as my bonus to you, completely free, on top of everything Garrett is already offering. But we're going to learn, not just from Garrett, but from the whole tribe that started this movement. Man, the myth, the legend, Sam Falsafi, who runs Warrior Week, is probably the one I'm second most excited about. But Sean Whalen is going to be there. Jeremy Franson is going to be there. a whole bunch of powerful men. And yeah, I really do. Having been involved at the deepest levels inside Warrior for the last 2 years, and really doing my due diligence on who Garrett is and what he is the vision he has. I mean, I believe 100% in Garrett, and I'm proud to be part of this network and this community, this brotherhood. So I'm here to kind of help anyone new who wants to join the brotherhood, the movement, to get up to speed at an accelerated rate and get plugged in with a small tribe unit as we advance through the curriculum and as we learn the impossible game, fact map frameworks, and share. What are you building? Well, here's what I'm building. What's going well, what challenges and setbacks and obstacles are you facing, and every week we get together and help each other out and support one another and keep each other accountable to what we say we're going to do, so that we actually build our kingdoms together. So I like I say, anyone within Warrior, if you want to join, just let me know and I'll add you in here. If you're on the outside, join, get your ticket for $520 for WarriorCon 4 this week. You're going to get the whole suite, the apps, the audiobooks, I think a bunch of the video training. You're going to get the 30-day Wake Up Warrior Challenge for life. And then go march through that at your own pace, but with us. You can see my example and the example of other guys and get our personal feedback and encouragement along the way. I've got so much more I want to share, but that's the main message for today. Even if you see this after WarriorCon, so it's in a week. So October 26th to 29th, they're broadcasting from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm going to be on the virtual experience with a whole bunch of my buddies from inside and a couple new guys like Steven and Eric. And I'm just really excited to share that experience with you guys starting next Wednesday. But if you see this after WarriorCon 4, November or so, still, you can go to warrioros.com if this is something that speaks to you, that you think you may want to be part of and learn more. And if you even just sign up for the Wake Up Warrior Challenge, again, I'm happy to. Where is it? Over here. I will add you in our group. Just send your receipt to me, okay? Listen now, I'm going to give you my email address. Don't spread it out around the internet there, but send me your receipt. Either if you get the WarriorCon 4 ticket or just the Wake Up Warrior Challenge, send me your receipt to Cody McKibb, CODYMCKIBB @gmail.com. And I will get you onboarded into our group, connect with you, get you into our chat group, and again, just get you accelerated, learning the Warriors way, operating system, and see how we can apply it in your business and your life. All right, so I'd love to get more of you guys in there and get more active on our weekly calls and break this stuff down together. Look forward to another video from me soon, and I'll probably be broadcasting in this group every day for this week, at least leading up to the conference next week. And then I'm going to go pretty quiet because we're all going to be tuning into what's happening in the Warrior studios from Vegas, but there'll be lots more in the coming weeks, okay? And I'm excited to reach towards the impossible together with you guys. So thanks for being part of this. Speak to you soon.